Hello, I'm Sam, and today I'm going to be going over how to make a height map for Space Engineers planets by using WorldPainter. So this tutorial will basically go over how the basics on how to use WorldPainter and how to export it into Space Engineers Heightmaps, and you can also import heightmaps as well. So yeah. Some prerequisite softwares you will need is WorldPainter, of course, GIMP, what was it, and Notepad++ to edit your SBC file. And yeah, you can also use different image editor than GIMP. You can use Paint.net, Photoshop, anything you would like, as long as you can edit grayscale images in 16 bits and export them. Alright, so basically, WorldPainter is basically just a Minecraft program on which you can edit or import Minecraft worlds, but you can also import and export height maps. So that's what we're going to be going into today. We're going to ignore all the Minecraft parts, and we're just going to make a height map for Space Engineers. Now, just as a thing, you can also technically make map files, but I highly do not recommend it because I did that once and it kind of ended off in a disaster and I had to redo the entire mod. So yeah, don't manage to make mat files because it's really hard to do. Alright, so if I go to my search browser and if I type in worldpainter.net, you'll go to this website. You'll need Java 8, forgot to mention that. And yeah, and you can also download the 64-bit version of it. You can install it right there, but I already have the software, so yeah. I was already messing around with it originally, so I'm just gonna close it. I don't want to save it, I want to close it. World Painter. And once you open up WorldPainter, you'll be met with this little map. You cannot export this because it is already is not fit for the size for Space Engineers yet. But in order to make a height map using WorldPainter, you can totally ignore this part. You can click on File, New World. It does not matter what version you choose. I can choose 1.15, 1.1. I just keep it to that. So you can set the dimensions. Let's say I want a 1024 by 1024 height map. So you can use you can always use 512 by 512, 1024, 2048, A192, and also I think you can also go for 96. Completely forgot to mention that. So yeah. Alright, so and then after that you can click on the topography. You can click on flat because we want to start off with a clean flat slate. If you want, you can do hilly, but I'd recommend flat. You can choose the level of how high your height map is. So if you choose it really high, so let's say if I want to go 80, if you set like your atmosphere properties, or if atmosphere is usually thicker in the lower regions, it'd be more prominent, and the atmosphere won't be as thick if your planet has an atmosphere though. But if you set to, like, for instance 10, you can also turn off beaches and land, and you can just, yeah, don't worry about the blueness. That is just the WorldPainter just thinking that it's a Minecraft ocean. I could just set this to 0. Alright, so this will basically mean that the atmosphere will be extremely thick. So I'm gonna do a little sweet spot. I'm gonna set it to 50, and I'm going to click on Create. And yeah, so right now I'm gonna teach you a few WorldPainter controls. First of all, to move around, you just click on middle mouse and you just drag your mouse around. You can move around. Second of all, if you want to zoom, you can control scroll wheel, so you can scroll in or out. All right, and then the third control is that I believe that's all the controls actually. Oh yeah, Alt and scroll wheel changes the rotation on like a brush, for instance. And a brush is basically this. If I click on brush, and then if I click on this button, if I hold Alt scroll wheel, it'll basically make it go around and around. So I'm gonna set it to 0 for now. Tools, this is up and down. So if you left click, it goes up. If you right click, it goes down. You can also view this by the height indicator on the bottom left part of the screen. So like I'm hovering over, the height is starting to go down and then back up again. Then for here, it goes up and then back down again. All right, and then after this, don't worry about this. So you need to ignore all the Minecraft parts here. So see these layers. You don't need them. I should have probably not done that, but there. Now it's back to normal. Okay. So yeah, you don't need to worry about this. You only just need to worry about this button, this button, this button, this button, and also probably this button if you want. This is for pyramids. This is for making a mountain. This is for smoothing the terrain. This is for flattening the terrain. This is for raising or lowering the terrain, which I just showed. So the flattening tool, if I do control scroll wheel, zoom in, I can flatten the terrain. So now this pyramid looks a bit weird. Well, not really pyramid anymore. It's just a really low quality hill. So yeah, and then I could just do this, and if I want, I could do Alt scroll wheel, and you can also do like keybinds also whilst the paintbrush is moving. So that is quite cool. So yeah. You can also make it go up or down and all that. It may be a bit confusing at first, but you'll quickly understand and you'll you'll to like it. And also, if you want to adjust how big or small the brush is, you could do scroll wheel. So if you scroll one way, it'll go high, it will go really big, and if you scroll the other way, it'll go really small. So yeah. And also, if you want to know how big or where in the world you are in the height map, you can go in the location part at the left part, the bottom left part of your screen. If it should go down to like 1020 to 512, because in the center here it is 0 0, and the bottom here is negative 512. This is positive 512. If this here was a 2048 height map, it would be 1024 by 1024, basically half the resolution for the radius. The diameter is 1024. So let's say I want a weird spiky planet. I can choose this brush here, and you can do that. Sorry, I nearly caught a sneeze, so that's that. And there we go. It's a bit of a spiky little planet, bumpy. It's a sequel to the spike planet I made for the world machine tutorial, which if you want you can also view on my channel. And yeah, so it's not really good at all, as you can probably tell. It is just a flat slab with some weird bumps, but you can but you'll get used to it later on. I can just kind of just smooth it out just a little bit, just make it look a bit nicer. There, it doesn't look half bad. All right, so I can do control scroll wheel to just zoom in and view all the details. If it looks quite good, you can do file, export, and do not click this, do not click this, do not click this. Only click export as a high resolution height map. You can click on that, and then you can basically you can just basically, for instance, go to your desktop or something, and you can just save it as whatever you want, as long as in a .png format. It will export automatically in 16-bit integer, so you should not get the staircase staircase effect whilst exporting in 8-bit, because you can't really fix that. So I'm going to call this, what's a good name? I'm just going to call it paint map, because it made in WorldPainter. I'll click on save. Alright, so now we have gotten our, oh, there goes my desktop background. I don't know what's wrong with that. Anyways, you can look for paint map right here. As you can see, it is a bit bumpy, as you can probably tell. And you can, for instance, go into your app data folder, go to your target planet mod of choice. If you do not know what I'm talking about, or if you don't know how to make a Space Engineers plan, I highly suggest you look up Dr. Octaconopus's tutorial. He basically has a six-part series on how to make, edit, and export height maps. He also has a little starter pack also. So I'm gonna go to the planet Spike here. I can go back to the height map part, and I can delete these, drag this over. All right, and I can rename this to up, down, left. You don't have to apply this for all of them, but you can apply if you want. So down, so up, left, down, right, front, and back. All right, so now we can fire up SE. I believe this plan already has his SBC files ready from the previous tutorial. So there we go. And yeah, we can fire up Space Engineers. All right, and we can go to new game, custom game, turn off this, go to mods. We can go to Planet Spike, and now we can, whoops, we can not do that. We can make sure it's on empty creative world, not an survival world. And we can click on load. Go into our Shift F10 panel. Find our planet. It won't look good, I'll show you that. And there we go, we have just made a height map using WorldPainter, which is quite amazing. Wasn't really spiky as I thought it would, but overall it's not bad. So yep, bit hilly, bit sharp on the hills. Not bad at all. Those with the alien grass and sand, Triton stone, and some earth trees. We're going all insane here today. All right, so yeah, and now this next part of the tutorial, I'm gonna go over how to import height maps. So basically, it is also basically the exact same way of, or actually very simple. So you just go into, instead of new world, you click on import new world, and click on from height map. There are unsaved changes if you want to save in the world. You can click on yes or no. Is your choice. I'm gonna not save it, and you need to choose an image on what you want to import. Because this is I don't really like how this interface looks, so I'm just gonna go into this up one level. I'm gonna go to this height map here, my data files, boop, and we can find that, and Minecraft will automatically adjust to the size. And yeah, you can also remove the beaches, noise edges, and you can remove all of this. You can also invert it if you would like, but I would not recommend that. So this year it is scaled to 512 by 512, I think, or 1024. No wait, this is 1024, probably, most likely. We'll have to wait and see for that. And then you can ignore the blueness because that is Minecraft water, and you can't really remove the water in WorldPainter right now. Maybe in a future update or maybe later on, but if you find it, you could check or uncheck it. So yeah, now we have found our height map. So yes, it's scaled to 512, unfortunately, but no worries on that because now you can edit many different aspects of said height map. So I'm going to, let's make a pyramid. All right, now that is just not the right tool. We can go to the pyramid tool and we can make a pyramid from the ocean and it will rise up. All right, and now we got our very bad pyramid here, and we can export, oh, not merge, sorry, export as a high resolution height map. I can go to desktop and I can click on pyramid.png. All right, I can save that and close that. We can exhaust SC for now. We can go back to our desktop and open that in a new window. All right, and now we can go to pyramid. We can first of all open spike first of all. Bring pyramid over, slide that in there. You can delete what we do not need. Copy it 6 times. You can go to back, left, all that, and name them accordingly. And there we go. And now all we have to do is reload. And because this is 512 by 512, I believe, most likely 512. There we go. And it looks all different because now, first of all, there's a big border because I did not bother smoothing in it. And second of all, now there is a pyramid here. How amazing. I'm gonna set the time to like a bit more day. It's a bit of a foggy planet, didn't bother changing the fog. But yeah, there's our little peak right here, then the pyramid down there. And yeah, that is basically how you import and edit height maps, and also how you export height maps in WorldPainter. Yeah, and once again, you can also use this for mat files. It is definitely possible, and and I totally would recommend doing that if you're comfortable with it. But I'm only covering the height map part, so yeah. So there is our planet. I'm gonna teleport down to the surface, and let's explore it. Here is Mount Pyramid right there. There's a few trees and all that. Hit the tree if you want. And yeah. Alright. Now, hopefully you guys got that. And yeah, thank you for watching. Leave a like or something. And hopefully this tutorial is helpful to you and other fellow SE modders that are planning to get into modding. So take care, and I'll see you.